Good morning.
Good morning.
Here to interview Specialist Vanderpool from the Army, U.S. Army National Guard, correct?
Correct.
All right, let's dive. Can you tell me more about your adolescent years, high school? What made your choices to go into the Army?
I always wanted to be a doctor when I was growing up as a little kid. We had my family, like a little problem in the family. So I decided to go in the military. One day I was in college, coming out of college, and I saw this Navy recruiter, and he told me to go in the Navy, so I decided to go in the Navy. And plus I was trained with my father when we were little kids. He used to train us military tactics in the woods, as a little kid at age 5 or under, me and my older brother.
Did you play any sports while growing up?
Yeah, I was a track team, when I was in junior high school and went to the high school. I always liked track.
Always like track, okay. So 100 meters, 400 meters?
Did a 100-yard dash, I did a 50-yard dash and a 100-yard dash. I ran a 100-yard dash in like 11.5. Wow, pretty fast, yeah.
That must have translated onto the Army field.
Yes,
Yeah. Tell me about the different branches that you were involved
in. I served, the first branch I served was the United States Navy. Then after the Navy, I served in the Navy Reserve. And after the Navy Reserve, I went in the Army National Guard. After the Army National Guard, I went in the Army Reserve. After the Army Reserve, I went to the Air Force National Guard. And after the Air Force National Guard, I went back in the Army National Guard. And after that, I went to the Navy Reserve and back in the Army National Guard and active Army, so I went to Iraq.
Of all the different branches, which one would you say was the easiest that you had to serve?
The easiest branch was the Air Force. When I was in the Navy, the last branch of the Navy Reserve, I was in the Bronx Force Scouts. I was with the MIUW, Mobile Inshore and Sea Warfare Unit. They used to call us the wannabe Navy SEALs. We used to train, but we wasn't really no Navy SEALs. And then I was in last Army Infantry Scout, doing the Vietnam, they call them alerts, long range reconnaissance patrol. They used to with the 75th Regiment, now they did the Green Berets.
Green Berets or Navy SEALs, which one would you say are tougher?
They both tough, they got their different aspects. The Navy SEALs good at swimming. Can't outswim the Navy SEALs.
I heard a fact about the Navy SEALs with the swimming. Is it true that you have to be able to hold your breath for a long period of time, correct?
Correct. You tie your legs, tie your arms up, you got to know how to swim.
Wow. Huh?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Wow. What was your MOS title?
MOS in Army when I was in Iraq was Infantry Scout. I was a Cavalry Scout with Delta Company, Cavalry Scout. With the Cavalry Unit, I was on Infantry with I used to be fighting 69. So Infantry Scout, we used to disconnect the mines and the bombs, and as a rifleman or a gunner, different tactics. And then we used to go out late at night and secure the area for the troops to come in the next day. Disconnect the bombs so the troops would come in. Everything got to be secured while the troops come in the next day. We just scouting the area on the recon mission.
Now, but these mines, are these underground land mines, or these are just the regular, the Claymores?
No, back in the Iraq call them the IED, improvised explosive device, IED, like underground.
That must take a lot of extensive training to know the difference between different mines, correct?
Yeah, different type of training, yeah, correct.
So tell me about the unarmed warrior.
Unarmed warrior. The reason why I call it unarmed warrior, all right, back in, we got activated around 2004 in October. All right, we was on patrol. November 10, 2004, we was on parole. That's the United States Marine Corps work. We driving, 4 vehicles on patrol. We was in a terrible ambush that nearly cost me my life. The RPG hit the vehicle. I jumped in front of the bullet and saved 16 soldiers' lives. So then one guy saved my life. He was behind the vehicle. I was no cover position, running in front of the bullet. So after that, we fought for 2 to 3 hours. We went back to the base. We had to see a chaplain. They said VDP, because my last name is Vanderpool. They said, you got to see a psychologist. So I went to see a psychologist. He told me I got to see a psychiatrist. So I had to get an escort to see a psychiatrist. So the sergeant came out, had his head down. He said, Mr. VDP, we got to take your weapon from you. So I ain't had no weapon for a month and a half in Iraq. So when I went home on leave, I had a friend of mine named Malik Ford. His real name is Gary Ford. He took me to the VA hospital. I was non-verbal, couldn't talk. So the military lawyer came in, the military officer came in. He said, you gotta go back to Iraq. So my ex-brother-in-law and my father said, that's outrageous. You sent this man back to Iraq, he's traumatized. So as my way home, I had to drive to the airport. Don't drive, I was dizzy. Tried to talk to my mom, I couldn't, I fell out in the store. So the guy in the store said, we gotta call the ambulance. Once they called the ambulance, they drove me back. The ambulance came and said, you know what day it is? I said, December, but it was February 14th. I was hallucinating. So they drove me to Nassau County Medical Center in East Mill. They put me on the bed. The doctor had a long tube. He put the tube in my nose, down my throat. And when I woke up in 24 hours, I had a seizure disorder and aggravated ulcer. So then my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law came, he asked me if I was all right. And I said, I'm still nonverbal. They took me on the main floor. I started talking to my mother, but my mother wasn't there. I was hearing voices. And then 3 days later, the nurse came in the room and said, Sergeant wants to see us. I said, bring him in. He was amazing. He said, attend her. I stood at attention. I'm going to drop. I'm going to bust my head while I lost 15 pounds. They put me back on the bed, and the major said, I got two choices. You can go home and relax, but one thing, you got to go back to Iraq with no weapon for 8 months to dodge your bullets. So that's why I call it Unarmed Warrior.
I read an article about that as well. So after the whole experience at the hospital, would you say you were clear to be on the field?
No, I wasn't clear. I wasn't in my right mind. I was like nonverbal. I was having flashbacks. You know.
Did you state to the major that you didn't feel right going back?
Yeah, but one thing about the major, he's stateside. You know, guys in Iraq laugh at him because he's sitting down like a pencil pusher. They over there getting shot at 24/7. So they don't even know, even though they're lower ranked than him, you know, the captain or high up, they're lower ranking than him. They don't care what he said. And the unit I was in wasn't my real unit. My real unit was stacked down. When we got activated, upstate and took over. So I just trained with them 3 months in Fort Hood, Texas. And I trained in California, Fort Hood, up in California. And then we was in training in Fort Hood, Texas, the higher up. They kicked him off the shooting range. The reason why they took him off the shooting range, he was shooting birds instead of shooting the target. Yeah, so right there they knew he was out of it. But like I say, you know, everybody think it was crazy, but we all had combat stress doing being in the combat unit.
Can you break down, because some don't understand what PTSD is. Can you explain that to the folks who are watching now? What is that? Because people, they hear about it, but for somebody who actually is going through it, they don't understand. And I know you can best explain that.
PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. You recurring the trauma you've been through, like the nightmares. You have anxiety, you have depression, you're hopeless, worthless, can't sleep, all the constructs, all the back to suicide. Like when I had my first flashback, when I first came home, I was in Louisiana. I see everything that happened when I was in Iraq. I seen when I was in the ambush, when I got blown up. I seen when the sergeant grabbed me, he pulled me to the side. I seen when the bullets bounced off my vest. You see everything that recurred in the past. You know, that's PTSD, the trauma you've been through. Getting shot.
I see that they prescribed Zoloft for you. How was that?
Yeah, I was taking Zoloft, I was taking Infexa, I was taking several different type of medication. When I was in Iraq, I was on psychiatric medication called Ambien, fighting the war. I was on Social Security disability since 1993. They still sent me down to Iraq. All that was ignored.
Yeah. Wow. I was looking at a picture that you showed me. Can you just break it down? The picture with you and Hillary.
All right. 2006, I came home in December 2005. They had a banquet in January 2006 in Farmingdale, Long Island, New York. And Hillary Clinton was the senator of New York at that time. There was like 26 organizations, all veteran organizations. She came there to do a speech. And it was like about three Secret Service. So they called me up as they announced me as Sgt Vanderpool. I was a sergeant in the Air Force. And I was over there with Hillary Clinton. I was one of the security team with Hillary Clinton. And she just took care of all the veterans. She did a good job.
Okay. Difference between Army and Air Force. What was the difference for you?
When I was in the Army, I was doing a different type of job. You know, Air Force, like laid back. I was like in the supply, you know.
Yeah, just work supply.
Yeah, you know, too. Army, I was doing a lot of combat situations. Air Force is relaxed supply.
Where exactly were you stationed in Iraq?
Iraq, I was in Camp Liberty.
Camp Liberty.
Camp Liberty is Baghdad, Iraq. It's like 3 parts that was there was a Sunni triangle. It was Baghdad, Mosul, and Fallujah. That was the rough part. I remember when I was in Iraq, the Sunni triangle of Mosul was blowing up. It was a suicide bomber. He snuck on the base. So when he went through the chow hall, he let loose. A lot of soldiers got killed and wounded. Yeah. And I was out there at that time, but they hit our base. It was we had to practice this and that. But when I was in Iraq with no weapon on base, I was in the telephone booth, like in the trailer, talking to the family. And I heard it going boom, boom, boom. So when I was walking at the trailer, you see bodies all over the place. 20 people got wounded and a soldier got killed. I'm low prone without a weapon. I see body parts all over the place. Real bad.
Do you liken your situation to the Hacksaw movie, the old 7 Day?
Oh yeah, Hacksaw movie, that was similar to me. Hacksaw Red on Private Doors. He was a 7 Day Adventist, I'm a 7 Day Adventist. He was a vegetarian, I'm a vegetarian. He refused to carry his weapon because he said, "Thou shalt not kill." All right, difference between me and him, he was a combat medic in a combat unit, an infantry unit. I was an infantryman in a cavalry unit. And the difference between me, he refused to carry a weapon. I did. They stripped me from my weapon because I was traumatized. But 7 Adventures, thou shalt not kill. But when you swear to the oath and they say you got to go to war, you got to go either that or they don't send you to jail.
Especially when I think about the oath, when you swear the oath, and what Muhammad Ali did as far as breaking that oath, even after being sworn to that oath. What do you think about that situation? You heard about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I think they cleared him with I think being a Muslim, they cleared his religion. But I think back then it was probably different in the 60s and 70s. Now, because I know back then you can't be sending relatives in the war zone together. When I was in Iraq, they had fathers, wives, boyfriend and girlfriend. They had brothers and sisters in Iraq at the same time. So all the rules changed.
Let's talk more about the book. So, what's more to be expected in the book that we haven't covered yet?
Different things is in the book. I'm gonna help a lot of veterans out when they came home and get their benefits. Because a lot of soldiers come home, they don't know what they're entitled to with the benefits. They got a lot of them got trauma, a lot of them lost a leg. I got applications to get their file from active duty. I know that just the ropes. So I'm gonna give them my email. My email is Lewis, LOUIS 45@ymail.com. I help over 200 soldiers, veterans, get benefits. I know a lot.
How long does the process take for someone?
When I first came home, it took maybe 9, 10 months. It moved quick now because a lot of things going on. They moving fast. It probably take 2 to 3 months now when you put the claim in.
That's beautiful.
They move quicker if you get all your records from active duty. That's why when soldiers come home, I get their records from active duty, and that makes the process move quicker.
So I hear you're into directing now. You got a movie.
Oh yeah, I got a movie shooting. This is like going to be on YouTube called Tears of the Soldier. We did Tears of the Soldier Part 1 in 2014, around February. All you got to do, go on YouTube, put TEARZ for Soldier. That's Part 1. I didn't direct that. One of the soldiers did. Part 2, I'm going to direct. It's going to be 11 Tears of the Soldier. We're going to film from the American Legion, then we're going to go to the woods, Wildwood State Park. I'm used to that woods because my father had us trained out there when we were 5 years old under. Me and my brother and the rest of the VDAC Brigade in front Fort Security Force. And by the way, my father is the chairman of VDAC. He's going to be a mercenary.
Oh, wow.
Mercenaries they wear civilian clothes. He was Special Forces in the Marine Corps. Back then they called it recon.
So I hear you do Tai Chi. Is there any other fighting styles that you know?
Yes, when I was a little kid growing up, my father teaches this style called pre-command, different than martial arts. Pre-command is physical fitness, endurance, coordinated mind of body, military tactics, nothing but military. Trained in the woods, teach you how to survive in the woods and all that. Hand-to-hand combat, military style. But
Towards the end of the interview, I would like for you to show me little techniques because I might need to learn something for myself as well.
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Show me something.
All right, this is Tai Chi. This is help me with the PTSD, when I'm going to trauma.
appreciate this time that you spent with us. Can you just give us what's your plans as far as for the rest of the year? I know that the book is there a set date for when the book is going to be out?
The book should be out this year, 2019, maybe around the 4th of July.
4th of July.
Should be here.
Yeah, Independence Day. That's a good time. That's a good time to come out. Okay. Pleasure having you, man. And
Thank you.
best of luck to you in all your endeavors.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you.